Welcome to Innerji, Tarot Tea Astrology and all things metaphysical. I'm Leslie Levy. And today we're going to look at the new moon in Sagittarius. And that is going to occur at 3:17 a.m. Australian Daylight Savings Time. And that is on Tuesday, the 15th of December. So what is a new moon? A new moon represents new beginnings, a new start. It's a wonderful time to start putting into place plans for something that you want to manifest. What does the new moon in Sagittarius mean? Well, Sagittarian energy is mutable fire. So it's lots of action. It's out there in all different directions, mutability, highly flexible, highly adaptable energy. And of course, when we have a new moon in Sagittarius, it means that the sun is in Sagittarius and they're literally next to each other. However, for this new moon in Sagittarius, it's a little extra special because we have a full solar eclipse. And this means that the moon comes between the earth and the sun and fully blocks the sun. So astrologically and metaphysically, what does all this mean? Well, with the moon in Sagittarius, this is a time to start new things that you've not tried before, to look at new ways of belief systems, to look at new values, new ethics, because Sagittarian energy is about exploration, about adventure, but not just about physical adventure, but exploring one's own belief systems and philosophies, and looking at the belief systems and philosophies of other cultures, other places in the world. That is part of that Sagittarian energy. Now, with a solar eclipse, with the moon fully blocking the sun, the moon's energy is extremely strong. And this solar eclipse energy will look at these new beginnings that you're considering now for the 15th and look at them for the next 6 months to see how they progress. That's how the energy will last over the next 6-month period. So be aware, whatever it is that you look at starting for this new moon in Sagittarius, know that it is going to be in that energy for the next 6 months or so. So what can you do with this new moon in Sagittarius? Full solar eclipse. Remember, big change with this full solar eclipse. It's the opportunity to make some big, profound changes, particularly in your outlook on life. So let's have a look at some crystals that can support you with any rituals you might be doing for the the new moon in Sagittarius, and any rituals you might be doing around this full solar eclipse. Because we have the full moon in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is about our spiritual outlook, our belief systems, exploring all of those things, exploring our spirituality, exploring our philosophy, I've chosen selenite as the stone to represent this new moon. Normally I would do a black moonstone for a new moon, but I thought because the moon is actually more powerful and we want to have this exploration to higher vibration, to a higher spirituality, I felt that selenite was really appropriate. So this is just a simple selenite tumblestone. Or you can use something like a little selenite tower or castle. The other one that I like to use for different moon rituals is my selenite athame. Beautifully carved, lovely sheen. So you can use selenite as a meditation focus in regard to your belief systems, in regard to exploring your spirituality through meditation, contemplation, or you can use the crystal as part of a ritual grid that you might want to do for the new moon. Now, the crystals that I've chosen for the energy of Sagittarius, and I have to say, I choose these intuitively. Yes, I know my crystals and what they mean, but most people, when they are coming up with crystal meanings, they've done it through their connection to spirit, through their intuition. So I use my intuition when I'm choosing crystals for the different moon phases and the different signs. So the first one I've chosen is sunstone. And the reason that I've chosen sunstone is because the moon is going to be fully blocking the sun. I want to bring up some of that fire energy for taking action. And with Sagittarius being mutable fire, bringing a bit of sun fire energy is important to do. So sunstone, about seeing a clear path ahead. And it's also, I see sunstone also as a crystal of abundance as well. The other stone I've chosen is one that's traditionally thought of as the birthstone for Sagittarius or for December, and that is turquoise. I love this beautiful piece of turquoise. I actually massage with it. And turquoise is about protection, and it's also about spiritual connection. Turquoise is also a stone of good fortune. Now, Jupiter is the planet that rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter is known as the great benefic, and it's the planet of good fortune, of generosity, of good luck. And so I felt turquoise was an appropriate stone to bring in for this new moon in Sagittarius. And the final crystal I've chosen is labradorite. I had to show you my huge piece of labradorite. The fluorescence on this is amazing, sort of a bit of blue. And labradorite is known as the stone of magic. Get that around a little bit better. There we go. It's the stone of magic. It is the stone of manifestation. And so I feel with this combination of moon in Sagittarius, sun in Sagittarius, and a full solar eclipse, this is the time to dive deep into our own magic, into the magic that lies deep within our own being. And so combining that with turquoise, so we want a little bit of protection when we do our magic, but we also want to have that connection to our communication, to our throat chakra as well. And we also then want to bring in the energy of the sun for manifestation into our magic. And of course, it all comes down through this new moon, setting the intentions of what it is that we want to bring into physical reality on the earth through the magic that we have within us, through using the stone of communication and protection, and through bringing in the fire energy of the sun, with Sagittarius being a fire sign. So again, you can use these stones individually for meditation, contemplation. You can create a new moon solar eclipse grid using your intuition if you'd like. There are so many ways that you can use crystals. You can use them as a grid where you can place the selenite at the top of your head. You can place the turquoise over the throat chakra. You can bring labradorite to your heart chakra on your chest. And you can bring the sunstone down to your solar plexus, which is located above the belly button but below the lower ribs. And you can actually lay these on you as a grid that you can embody for setting your intentions for this new moon and solar eclipse. Now looking at some essential oils that can support you during this new moon in Sagittarius and of course the full solar eclipse. And let's see what I've chosen for you. For the moon energy, the new moon energy, I have chosen neroli. Neroli is a very delicate flower. It's a very delicate orange aroma. And the affirmation that I chose for this particular oil is I connect with my higher self and those of the angelic and spiritual realms. So I've chosen neroli because of its high vibration. And I've chosen it to connect with the divine feminine moon energy, the goddess energy, in terms of setting new intentions around beliefs, around spirituality for this new moon in Sagittarius. So let's start off by adding a little bit of neroli, which I love, one of my favorite oils, into my amethyst mixing bowl. The next oil I have chosen is rosemary. Rosemary, we all know rosemary is for remembrance. And so this particular way I'm using rosemary oil is to take some time to contemplate, meditate on that which is for the highest good during this new moon in Sagittarius. And what is for our highest good may not always be something that we want, but perhaps something that we need. So I'm going to add a few drops of rosemary into my blend. And remember, when you're using essential oils, these are 100% pure. They're not diluted. So please never ingest them. And never ever put them directly onto your skin without diluting them in a vegetable carrier oil first, such as cold pressed sweet almond oil. Where you can use them undiluted is 1 drop on a tissue or on a piece of aromatherapy jewelry that you can inhale, or you can use them undiluted in your aromatherapy diffuser. So that was rosemary for my highest good. The other oil that I've chosen is sage. Sage is good for space clearing, but it's also good for connecting to one's inner wisdom and the wisdom of spiritual teachers as well. But this time I've chosen sage to connect with your own inner wisdom, that inner philosophical wisdom of the Sagittarian energy at this new moon. So let's add a couple of drops of sage. And the final oil that I've chosen this one to represent that fire, that mutable fire Sagittarian energy. And I have chosen ginger. Absolutely gorgeous flower on the ginger. It does look like a flame, doesn't it? And the affirmation that I wrote to go with ginger is, I am optimistic and take action. And Sagittarian energy is so optimistic, always seeing the glass half full instead of the glass half empty. The other reason I've chosen ginger is it brings in the fire of the sun, because the sun is going to be totally eclipsed by the moon on the 15th. So I want to bring a bit of fire energy, a bit of sun energy back into my blend. And so that's why I've chosen some ginger. Now ginger's quite strong, so I'm only going to add 2 drops of ginger. That's finally come out. And I'm just going to stir it with my beautiful intention spoon made by my friend Twisted by Mish, specially made for me. And we're just going to stir the blend to be the alchemist and mix it. And let's have a little sniff of that. Yeah, and that blends really well. So just so you know what I've done in terms of number of drops, I have done 6 drops of neroli. It's a top note if you want to think of it in terms of vibration or perfume, so it will evaporate the quickest. Next, I've chosen 3 drops of rosemary. Rosemary is quite a strong smelling oil, so only 3 drops of that, and that's a middle note. Sage, I've gone for a little bit more, and I've put about 4 drops of sage in, again, a middle note. And then ginger, because it's a bit of a zinger, I've just put 3 drops of ginger in. But the whole point of blending is, you know, use this as a guideline, but if it doesn't smell nice to you, then add a drop here, a drop there, and just see how it blends for you. I do hope this has been of help for you today. I do hope your new moon in Sagittarius and full solar eclipse brings you your greatest good. Until next time, namaste.